I've been tasked with growing our family's pest control business. And this year, it's finally going to happen. And these are the 3 things that we're going to focus on and actually start doing. Now, I just got off from work, as you can see from this, doing technician work. And so these are the things that we're pretty much doing. My family owns Killpex. They've been owning it for 18 years. And in those 18 years, it really has just been my parents, and the business hasn't been scaling that much. I mean, just this past year, actually, we finally scaled up to slightly under $250,000. So like around 240. And so that's a big achievement, but we're planning to grow this a lot more because, again, my whole thing is just to grow this business to the point where my parents don't have to be in the day-to-day anymore, where I can actually take care of them and I can take care of the business. It can still grow by itself and actually make something that is worth building at the end of the day. And here are the 3 things and 3 strategies that we've actually been learning just this year. So first, it's actually posting in Facebook groups. I still have yet to do this, but I'm actually going to make a list of 50 different Facebook groups that I'm going to be a part of, mostly on my mom's business account or just her personal account because she's the one with the most connections and whatnot. But then just posting in each one of those groups every single week, making sure that we're contacting every single person, just getting our word out there. Because the main thing that's really limiting us is just leads. Because I know we have a good offer. Most of the people that we actually get to talk to, whenever we're selling our offer, they do say yes. Everything that I have been learning from doing this and actually learning these strategies is you find 50 different Facebook groups, and those Facebook groups typically are things in adjacent to your industry. You know, whether it's real estate, whether it's mom groups, whether it's neighborhood groups, in the places that you actually want to grow in. And then actually positioning yourself in there just to add value to the group. And then since you add value, then you, at some point, they will come ask you, hey, we've been hearing a lot about you and we want to know more about you. And at that point, you can sell whatever you need to do. And the second thing that we're actually doing is upgrading our referral program, because this is something I've been learning, and this is something I've tried implementing once I started working with my parents, is that really making an official referral program. Because before we were doing it by credits. If they referred someone who successfully signed up for our services, then they would get a free service. And at that point, we were still billing by service rather than by monthly. And turns out that's been going on for months and no one really did anything about it. So now we're kind of upgrading that, and then now I'm telling our customer base a lot more what we're doing now, which is instead of like something kind of intangible, which is just a free service, you know, allowing more money in their paycheck to kind of be left to them, which is something they can't really see or feel with their hands and kind of feel a benefit of. It's something tangible, which is like a $50 Amazon gift card, which is something super, super simple, but that can honestly help a lot. And as I'm starting to like actually tell our customers, even just today on today's route, I'm actually telling them what we're doing, how we're doing it. And pretty much if they send us a referral, we're going to give them a $50 Amazon gift card. And then if they get the referral, right, they get the $50 Amazon gift card within that month. And so depending on how many referrals they get that much money. And so that's something just tangible. And I've noticed that even just discussing that with people, rather than like, I've said the same thing with them, like, oh, you get a free service. They're like, oh, that's nice. But when I tell them like they're actually getting some money on the other end, they're like, oh, shoot, okay, that's really nice. Like the reaction is just a lot different. I still have yet to see the progress, but we're still going to work on this 100%. And the main thing with this is like, with referrals, the cost to acquire the customer is very, very little, obviously, because you're not spending money on ads, you're not spending money on the content, more or less. But you're doing all these things organically and making your customer base grow its own thing, which is really nice and something that I've noticed and really want to dive into more of this. And so this is kind of the first week that we're really implementing this kind of upgrade with our referral program. So I definitely want to keep you all updated on what that looks like. And then the third thing is strategic partnerships. So just a little bit of context, kind of aligning yourself with different businesses that are in the similar kind of niche, I guess you could say. Home services, more or less, like, you know, HVAC, plumbing, lawn care services, and different things like that. Where, you know, if they're doing a home service and then they realize this person doesn't have pest control, they can more or less do something with you, and actually creating those strategic partnerships as well. That's something my parents can actually take care of because they have a lot more connections than I do, because I mean, I just started working with them in about 6 months ago. So there's a big difference there. But the main thing with that is just actually having the mutual benefit of being able to help them and actually help them help you. at the end of the day too, and sharing with each other what are each other's contacts is. And those are the three things that we're going to be focusing on this year. And so I'm going to be making progress with the Facebook. I'm going to be making progress with the referrals by telling everybody. And then I'm going to be making progress with the strategic partnerships. And those are to bring leads in, obviously. Now the next thing is obviously to sell them. And that's something we have to learn and have to do. And in no way this is like sort of educational or like I'm the guru or whatever. No. I've been working in this for about 6 months. I know good business knowledge and head and whatever. I can make good offers. I'm pretty decent at sales, at least in my own opinion anyways. And we're still figuring this all out. And these are the three things that we are doing in order to grow our own pest control company. And still have yet to see the results. We're getting a few results here now and then, but the main thing is actually putting in the effort and doing it. This is uncomfortable. It takes a long time and doing all this different jazz, but again, my main reason of doing this is not so that I can make a lot of money. It's honestly just so that my parents can finally have a business that can sustain itself without them needing to be there. And that is so much more than just sales, but sales is the way to get there at first. And that's something we definitely need. And yeah, here in Orlando, Florida, it's been a long 18 years of them, and they've just been kind of like going by. And so we're here to kind of like make sure that we're growing a lot more. And that's my entire motivation. That's my entire motivation with kind of the rest of this channel, highlighting all the differences that what we're doing, and even just like the differences in my life and things that I've been learning as a leader, as a son, as a future husband, everything like that. And yeah, that's literally the whole thing.